Ghosts in Us contains serious and sometimes disturbing events and is not suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
And there is the very distinct
This
shape
really
of a
dark
man.
figure that was standing in the doorway.
I'm living an episode of Kindred Spirits right now.
I just want them to tell me their stories.
So he thinks the life was sacrificed for the spell.
It had the crying boy painting.
Something demonic that was mocking me.
Are you kidding?
It was completely involuntary, but I started crying. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Season 2 finale of the Ghosts in Us podcast. Today, Taylor and I took a poll, and this is what everybody wanted to listen to, I guess. I wanted to do the case of Anna Eklund, but Taylor said we're going to do haunted objects, and that's what everybody gravitated towards.
But we could do your case after. It's
I
just
do
this one's
really
going
want to do that
first.
case. It's so interesting.
Well, so we had someone ask us, like, what were our thoughts of haunted objects, and like, do we really think objects could be haunted? Why do they get attachments and stuff? And you and I both each have our own haunted objects. Like, you have your
Alleged
chair and the
haunted
fire
objects.
helmet. Alleged, and I have my kids and a leg. How do you, or like, why or how do you think things attached to objects? Like, do you think there could be really haunted objects?
Could be a number of reasons. I think there are. I mean, I don't see why they can't. What are we like? What are the rules? Like, we don't make them. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, think about it this way: like, when a place is haunted by a ghost, even though nobody died at the property, it's a place that they either really enjoyed or they had like a very traumatic experience at. Just because a person didn't die there doesn't mean they can't haunt the place. It's all about kind of like the energy that they put into it in life. And who's to say, like, I've got this chair. I've caught really cool evidence off of it. I would say it could be from whoever owned it. Like, they sat in this chair and they put, I don't know, some type of, like, when we did that Ghost Theories episode way back, how long ago now? It's like kind of like that little bit of a puzzle piece or something, you know, like you leave that little bit of an imprint.
Yeah.
I got this fire helmet's looking right at me. It looks at me every time I walk in here, and like, I don't even know the story to it. Like, I can't find the story on it, so I don't know. I can't say it's haunted, but they said that they wanted it off of the property, and we did a spirit box session, an Estes method session, and it said take the helmet away, and we did. So, and the owner was like, "You're gonna take it," and I went, "Shit." So now it's here.
I remember, like, when I told my dad that I was going to buy Barbara, he's like, "So you're buying a slave?" And I'm like, "What do you mean a slave?" And he's like, "You're going to buy an object where a spirit is chained to it and cannot leave." And I'm like, "How do you know it can't leave? Like, you're giving it a nice, comfortable
I wouldn't
home.
say that.
Maybe." Yeah. So, like,
wouldn't
I thought,
say
like,
that. It could be like, it's like when, gosh, how can I word this nicely? It's kind of like putting a kid up for adoption. I'm trying to make this
I'm
analogy work.
adopting.
You
I'm
brought it
adopting
into
spirits.
you brought it into a home where you're going to give it the time and attention that it wants.
Yeah.
You have.
And it's like, I'd say out loud, "You are free to leave if you wish. You are
Yeah,
not
and I did the same
you are
thing.
not attached."
But
So,
every
like,
time I walk into this room, I'm like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna work in here for a while. If you feel like saying something, I guess, don't scare me too bad." And then every
do
time I
we-
walk out of the office, I'm like, "All right, see you later."
But do you think we really have the power to let them be released? Like, when you think of, like, I could use the Glen Beulah School as an example. There's that room filled with dolls. You, like, who could walk in there and be like, "You guys could leave if you wish"? Like, can anyone just say it and they'll be like, "Ah, hell yeah," and then go? Or
I don't think they even need permission.
right. Yeah, that's true.
They just do it because they like the space. And if they don't, they would have left how long ago?
That's true. Like, I haven't experienced anything since Evelyn was born. So maybe they're just like warming up to it, or they're just like out of here, or
Or maybe they weren't there at all. Who's to say? Like, we don't know.
that too. Maybe I was just going crazy seeing all this stuff or experiencing all this stuff. Um, so because someone asked us about our thoughts about haunted objects and all that stuff, if things have connections, I decided to look up some of the most haunted like objects out in the world between dolls and furniture and paintings. And we're gonna go back and forth and kind of like give you a little history on each
Oh,
one.
good.
And I'm pretty sure people are going to
A lot
know.
of these you'll know.
But yeah, they're pretty popular. They're pretty big. Did you want to start it off, or do you want me to start it off?
Well, you start it. How about that? You start it. I'll do the screen sharing thing since we're doing this over Zoom yet, and then we'll get the first one set up. So, all right, let me get the first image rolling. And share. Here we go.
Our first one, everyone should know. It is
Everyone
Annabelle.
should know is the doll that is Annabelle.
Now, Annabelle doesn't look like how she does in the movies. That's movie magic.
Nope,
They
she's just a
really want you
Raggedy
to be
Ann
scary.
doll.
Yeah. So according to the Warrens, a student nurse was given the doll in 1970, and they said the doll behaved strangely, and that a psychic medium told the student that the doll was inhabited by a spirit of a deceased girl named Annabelle. The student and her roommate tried to accept and nurture the spirit-possessed doll, but the doll reportedly exhibited malicious and frightening behavior. It was at this point that the Warrens say they were first contacted, moving the doll to the museum after pronouncing it demonically possessed. The doll remained in a glass box at the Warrens Occult Museum in Monroe, Connecticut, until the museum's closure over zoning violations in 2019. I didn't realize they closed the museum.
Yeah, but it still goes on like tours and stuff with the son-in-law, I believe.
All right. Texas State University Assistant Professor of Religious Studies, Joseph Laycock, says most skeptics have dismissed the Warrens Museum as full of off-the-shelf Halloween junk, dolls, and toys, books you could buy at any bookstore.
I still want to do an episode on the Warrens, by the way, just to let you know. I still would love to talk about them.
Put it together.
I'll put it together.
Laycock calls the Annabelle legend an interesting case study in the relationship between pop culture and paranormal folklore, and speculates that the demonic doll trope popularized by films such as Child's Play, Dolly Dearest, and The Conjuring likely emerged from the early legends surrounding Robert the doll, who is actually the next like haunted object on our list.
Yep. All right.
If people don't
Let's
like,
just go.
Robert is probably
into
one
it.
of my favorite little like haunted doll situations.
Yeah,
I
he's got
think
an
he's so
interesting
cute.
story. I'll take Roberts.
All right.
All right. So the doll originally belonged to Robert Eugene Otto, an artist described as eccentric. So I'm just going to read it off of your notes that you put together for me. Thank you. He belonged to a prominent Key West family. The doll was reportedly manufactured by the Steiff Company of Germany. I'm assuming that's Steiff Company of Germany, purchased by the Otto's grandfather while on a trip in Germany in 1904, and then given to the young Otto boy as a birthday gift. The doll sailor suit was likely an outfit that Otto wore as a child. The doll remains stored in the Otto family home at, I'm not going to list their address because I don't want to dox anybody.
Stay at their home in Key West.
In Key West. While Otto studied art in the New York and while he studied art in New York and Paris, Otto married Annette Parker in Paris on May 3rd, 1930. The couple returned to the Otto family home in Key West to live there until Otto died in 1974. His wife died 2 years later. After their deaths, the Eaton's I'm gonna bleep that one. The home containing the doll was sold to Myrtle Reuter, who owned it for 20 years until the property was sold to the current owners who operated as a guest house. Oh my god, I can read. What the hell is wrong with me? In 1994, the doll was donated to the East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida, where it became a popular tourist attraction. Now, according to the legend, the doll has supernatural abilities that allow it to move, change its facial expressions, and make giggling sounds. Some versions of the legend claim that a young girl of Bahamian descent, is that right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like Bahamas.
Interesting. Gave Otto the doll as a gift or as retaliation for a wrongdoing. Other stories claim that the doll moved voodoo figurines around the room and was aware of what went on around him. Other legends claim that the doll vanished after Otto's house changed ownership a number of times after his death, or that young Otto triggered the doll's supernatural abilities by blaming his childhood mishaps on the doll. According to the local folklore, the doll has caused several car accidents, broken bones, job loss, divorce, and a cornucopia of other misfortunes. I've never seen cornucopia. All right, cornucopia. All right. And a museum visitor supposedly experienced post-visit misfortunes for failing to respect Robert. That's when they like take a picture without asking for permission and stuff like that. One thing that isn't noted in this description, though, is that Robert Eugene actually, he dropped Robert from his name to give the doll the name. Like he went by Eugene Otto for the after he received the doll.
That's really interesting. I didn't know that.
That's something that wasn't brought up in this. So
and
I
then
wanted
like
to,
if you go ahead.
No, I just wanted to touch that.
I was gonna say if you look at the picture, there's a lot of letters and
that's like all the letters of apology.
In the background. Yeah, if you take a picture of Robert without asking and all that, or if you just show him disrespect, all these people have so much bad luck that they really think it's because of Robert.
They truly believe that it was.
And the people who run the museum that he's in, they post all those letters in the room that he sits in just to give him respect and hopefully
they get the stuff brought out.
Yeah.
It's really scary to think about.
I think Robert could be a real thing for sure.
I think Annabelle and Robert can be a thing. Like
Annabelle's harder to believe, but that's just because of media.
I get it with the movies and the Conjuring universe and stuff like that. But like, there's some real stigma, stigmatism. I think no, that's not the right word. There's some real stories that go with the Annabelle doll that I think are pretty legit. I don't think I could
hold her.
Yeah, I don't think I could do
her.
it.
So our next one is the Myrtle Plantation Mirror. I actually didn't know about this. You said that you, like when we weren't recording, that you would love to visit the plantation.
I would love to visit the plantation because it's just so haunted. I wouldn't do it solo.
God, I don't think I could ever like force you to do that.
No, because I wouldn't go.
The Myrtles Plantation is a historic home and former antebellum plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana. It was built in 1796, and it is often reported that 10 murders occurred in the house, but historical records only indicate the murder of William Winter. Possibly the most well-known of the Myrtles' supposed ghosts, Chloe, was reported a slave owned by Clark and Sarah Woodruff. Woodruff. According to one story, Clark had pressured or forced Chloe into being his mistress. Other versions of the legend have Chloe listening in keyholes to learn news of Clark's business dealings or for other purposes. After being caught, either by Clark or Sarah, one of her ears was cut off and she wore a green turban to hide it. Chloe supposedly baked a cake for one of the two daughters containing extract of boiled and reduced Orlander leaves, which are extremely poisonous. The reason she did what she did was to get work back inside the house. A maid who was getting the favor of the mistress was a suspect. with some saying she was getting revenge on the Woodruffs, and some say she was attempting to redeem her position by curing the family of the poisoning. According to the legends, her plan backfired. Only Sarah and her 2 daughters ate the cake, and all died from the poison. Chloe was then supposedly hanged by the other slaves and was thrown into the Mississippi River, either as punishment or to escape punishment by Clark for harboring her. And then there's this mirror. The mirror is located in the house. Supposedly, it holds the spirit of Sarah and 2 of her children. According to custom, mirrors are covered after a death, but legend says that after the poisoning of the Woodruffs, this particular mirror was overlooked, and the uncovered mirror reportedly trapped the spirits of Sarah and her children, who are occasionally seen or leaves handprints on the mirror. And as I was looking at this and like trying to get a good photo of like the mirror and like the plantation, there's a lot of photos out there, people like showing the handprints that would show up on it. And I don't know, I guess
it's
a
something
very
I would love to do an experiment
thing.
with. Like if we could go there and we could like Windex it and then we got a handprint on it, that'd be different.
Yeah. I've heard of the whole like, oh, you should cover mirrors when there's a death and all that. But I don't know. I never really think about it. I've heard of it, but I don't feel like people really do that anymore, do they?
I don't know. Also is oleander, by the way.
Oleander?
Oleander is how you pronounce that.
So this is just speculation. Like they don't know if it's true or not because like I said, historical records only indicate 1 murder on the property of a William Winter who wasn't even part of this whole story.
Right. Well, I mean, again, it's like, why? I don't necessarily think it's the mirror that is cursed. I think it's the whole
The entire building.
I don't think it's the mirror that has the attachment. I think it's the whole Myrtle plantation is haunted because it was a plantation, you know, like a lot of crap happened there.
It's Louisiana. It's the South. There are a lot of slaves, a lot of brutality.
The slave states with the, you know, how some people treated the slaves. I don't know. It could be like, it's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's just the mirror.
I think the mirror is just one of the focuses, like one of the topics.
Right.
Hot
For sure.
spots, etc.
For sure.
Would you like to read the next one?
I would love to. So I think we should just switch off. I mean, might as well, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the next one is actually one I know absolutely nothing about, and it's The Hands Resist Him. It's a painting that was created by the artist Bill Stoneham in 1972. It depicts a young boy and a female doll. That's a doll?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Standing in front of a glass paneled door against which many hands are pressed. According to Stoneham, the boy is based on a photograph of himself at age 5. The doorway is a representation of the dividing line between the walking world and the world of fantasy and impossibilities, while the doll is a guide that will escort the boy through it. The titular hands represent alternative lives or possibilities. Oh, that's kind of cool. The painting was first displayed at the Feingarten Gallery in Beverly Hills, California during the early 1970s. A one-man Stoneham show at the gallery, which included the piece, was reviewed by the art critic at the Los Angeles Times. During the show, the painting was purchased by actor John Marley, notable for his role as Jack Woltz in The Godfather. Sometime after Marley's death, the painting was found at the site of an old brewery by an elderly Californian couple, as stated in their original eBay listing. Okay. The painting appeared on the auction website eBay in February 2000. According to the seller, which was the couple, the painting carried some form of a curse. Their eBay description made a series of claims that the painting was cursed or haunted. Included in those claims were the characters in the painting moved during the night. Holy shit. And that they would sometimes leave the painting and enter the room in which it was being displayed. Fuck.
Could you imagine?
that.
You're just like you wake up in the middle of the night, right? You are hungry or you're thirsty. So you're trying to walk to the kitchen and you have to walk past the living room where this painting is just sitting
And you see a
on the
boy and a
wall.
doll?
Yeah, just like on your couch or standing around in the living room and you're half awake like, the fuck.
Bro, this dude had a 5 head too. Fuck that.
Anyways,
Oh, Jesus Christ. Where the hell am I?
move during the night.
And which was being displayed. Also included with the listing were a series of photographs that were said to be evidence of an incident in which the female doll character threatened the male character with a gun that he was holding. He's holding a. She's holding.
She.
Oh my gosh, she is holding a gun. What the hell?
It's not a gun. So if you zoomed in more on it, I'm pretty sure it's like a battery. The artist said that it's not a gun. It is like a toy or a battery.
I don't like zooming in on that. F that.
Yeah, it's kind of freaky, isn't it?
Excuse me. Okay, anyway. Causing him to attempt to leave the painting. That's what, if you know. Okay, that was the end of that sentence. News of the listing was quickly spread by internet users who forwarded the link to their friends and wrote their own pages about it. Some people claimed that simply viewing the photos of the painting made them feel ill or have unpleasant experiences. Taylor, F you.
I didn't do anything.
Well, you're
You
making
feel
me look at
fine.
you make not yet. We'll see.
We're making
After an
everyone
initial
else
bid of
look at it.
$199, the painting eventually received 30 bids and sold for $1,025. The Buyer Perception Gallery in Grand Rapids, Michigan eventually contacted Bill Stoneham and related the unusual story of its auction on eBay and their acquisition of it. Stoneham recalls that both the owner of the gallery in which the painting was first displayed and the art critic who reviewed it died within 1 year of coming into contact with the painting.
All right, so I actually have some other notes about
No
this painting.
fucking way. That's nuts, man.
I have other notes about this painting. So this painting is part of a trilogy. So the artist made a prequel and a sequel.
I remember you telling
of
me
it.
about that. Yeah.
And Zach Baggins really wanted this painting. However, the owner
remember.
of that gallery refused to sell it. So Zach contacted the artist, and the artist made the sequel and gave it to Zach Baggins, and it sits in the front, like storefront area of his museum.
That's
in
right.
Las
I remember you
Vegas.
telling me that.
So, I know the artist is like blown away by all of this stuff that has been connected to his painting, because I don't know, he made it based off of a photo of himself as a kid.
Yeah, I see that.
And I failed to like put in the prequel and sequel of this like painting thing, but like it gets a little crazier. Like the hands behind the door or window like become like a whole different scenery, and like the boy is an adult, and it's freaky.
All right, I want to get off this painting as fast as possible.
It's not that bad.
I want to get off of it. Next.
The next one is the Busby stoop chair. I have not heard of this.
Yes, I love the Busby chair.
Busby?
Yeah,
Is it Busby or Busby?
Busby.
But the Busby stoop chair, or the dead man's chair, I'd rather call it the dead man's chair, is an oak chair that was supposedly cursed by the murderer Thomas Busby before his execution by hanging in 1702 in Yorkshire in the United Kingdom. The chair is said to have remained in use for centuries at the Busby Stoop Inn. Due to the many deaths later attributed to people sitting in the chair, the landlord donated it to the Thirsk Museum in 1978. So it sat there for the longest time.
Yeah.
Thomas Busby was arrested, tried, and condemned to death after he murdered his father-in-law Daniel in 1702. Daniel and Busby were running a coin counterfeiting business as well as other criminal enterprises, and they argued about the business, and which ended with Busby killing him. One variation of the story has Busby cursing the chair while he was on his way to his execution, whereas another says that he was drunk in the chair, and when he was arrested, he cursed it then. In 1978, the chair was ultimately hung from the ceiling in the museum to prevent occupancy even by maintenance. Supposedly, they think this chair has so much to it with its curse that they had to hang it from the ceiling.
Yeah, it's people were getting like violently hurt and like after sitting in this chair.
Well, when it's in a bar and you drink heavily and then you leave and you get hurt because you're drunk as a skunk.
Yeah, but you don't want to take the risk. I wouldn't take the risk.
That's me being a skeptic. Like, you're at a bar, absolutely. You're gonna get drunk.
That's exactly what we have to be in this situation.
I mean, I get it. Chairs can be haunted. You have a supposedly haunted chair. But like, I just find it funny that they have it hung up.
Yeah, it was like if you were to sit in this chair, you were cursed to then like die or something like that. And that's why they hung it up. It's because they didn't want anybody to like sit in it and then like basically have your family come in and be like, all right, Sue.
Doesn't I hate to bring him up again because I mean he's kind of something. Doesn't Zach Baggins have like a haunted rocking chair or something that he has stored in a closet?
Not in a closet. I don't think it's like in its own little display that's like roped off.
Should we like do an episode about some of the stuff in his museum?
I'm fucking down. I don't give a. Yeah, hell yeah.
Because I mean, he has a lot of the haunted things that
he's got a bunch of shit
that like we would love to talk about. Like one of the things I decided to not put on this list was a Dybbuk box. Because
I will not touch a Dybbuk box because that story is too inconsistent.
Yeah, it is so impossible to find like a full history on it.
The guy Zach bought it from like came out and said the story is fake.
Yeah.
Like the guy he bought it from.
But then you see like all these videos, like there's like one of Post Malone going by the Dybbuk box at Zach Baggins Museum and something happened. And
well, like, yeah, okay. But like, is it also a thing where you're manifesting that kind of reaction?
I think so. I'm pretty sure one of my coworkers went to go see Zach's museum in Vegas. And I'm pretty sure she told me he like pumps smells through the like AC and like certain rooms are colder. Like he kind of like puts you in this mindset that there's stuff there when it's just him manipulating the air.
Interesting.
With smells and wind.
I'd love to go there. I think we should plan a trip once in our lives to go. Let's get Zach on the show.
Yeah, because we're so big.
I think we could do it.
Just come in with the camera. Hey guys.
No. We'll get tickets. We'll be nice. We'll be friendly about it. And then I'll shoot his haunted museum a little email and be like, yo, we're coming in. We'd love to just sit down and just chat. Like, yeah, we've shat on him in the past. I'll still do it. But like, I would love to like meet him and see what he's like in real life. I'm sure people have their stories and you could catch him on a bad day. Like if you caught a celebrity on a bad day, you're going to get treated like absolute dog shit. I want to see what he's like. I want to see what he's like. I guarantee I'll tell you right now, forefront, as soon as I meet him, I'll be like, it's very nice to meet you. And I'm going to be super like over the top, like, holy shit, like this is really cool. Can I get your picture later? That'd be great. And I'd be that person, and then behind his back, I'd be like, well, Ghost Adventures. I'll be honest.
I mean, you also got to keep in mind, like, how many people actually go up to them and be like, oh, I like you. I love this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And they would get super annoyed and overwhelmed and exhausted by that. So they might just be an asshole because they're exhausted of the fame.
Yeah, that too. Anyway,
right, Zach Baggins, keep him out of this.
Not to talk about that anymore. We're going on to probably what is one of my favorite things. And I actually interviewed somebody on this podcast in the early days who had an experience with the Crying Boy painting. because that's what we're talking about. And of
The
course, I
history
grabbed one
behind
with
this painting.
Of course, I grabbed one with a fucking watermark
Watermark?
on it. Go me.
The history behind this painting is, I think, the most believable. Like, I believe it 1000%
The
because of
Crying
how
Boy
insane
painting
it is.
is crazy. The story behind it is nuts.
It's your turn to share it.
Hell yeah, last one, baby. So the Crying Boy is a mass-produced print of a painting by Italian painter Giovanni Bragolin. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that last name.
He lived to be about 70?
1911 to 1981. This was the pen name of the painter Bruno Amarillo. Oh, please tell me I got that right. It
sounded fancy.
I mean, it's technically Amarillo is Spanish, but you know, it's also Italian.
Continue.
They're very close. Anyway, it was widely distributed from the 1950s onwards. On the 5th of September, 1985, the British tabloid newspaper The Sun reported that an Essex firefighter claimed that undamaged copies of the painting were frequently found amidst the ruins of burned homes, and by the end of November, belief in the painting's curse was widespread enough that The Sun was organizing mass bonfires of the painting sent in by readers. That's nuts.
And I have a list, like you could scroll. These are just some of like the incidents that happened where this painting survived. Like,
Yeah.
nothing happened to it.
Yeah. It was early. There's a little story here. Oh, we got a lot of bullet point stories here.
Multiple different stories.
Ooh, excuse me. I'm going to burp in 1 second. So if that comes up,
Here.
I'm really sorry.
How about I read the first story?
I got it. We're fine. It came out.
All right.
Excuse me. It was in early September 1985 that the phenomenon entered the public domain when Yorkshire fireman Peter Hall was quoted in a national newspaper as saying that fire brigades across the north of England had found examples of the same picture remaining untouched in fires whose causes remained unknown. Hall spoke out after his brother Ron Hall, who did not believe the story, deliberately bought a copy of The Crying Boy to disprove the jinx, found his home in Swallowness, South Yorkshire, mysteriously burnt down soon afterwards. Seeing that the picture had been removed intact from the charred ruins, Ron Hall put his boot through it.
He kicked it.
Yeah, fucking kick that sucker.
Was the John Doe that you interviewed that talked about this painting, wasn't he from the UK?
Yes, he was.
That makes a lot of sense as
Yes,
to
he
like
was.
how he has like.
If you want to listen to
copy.
the episode, I highly recommend it. He was very nice and to talk to. He just didn't want his identity out there. Wholeheartedly, that is okay. That is what this place is for. It's supposed to be a safe space. Even if you don't want your identity, the link will be in the description below. Highly recommend listening to it. That dude went through some serious shit.
So the next story that involves like this painting, Dora Brand of Mitcham, Surrey.
Are you reading it or am I?
I'll read the next one. We can each read the bullet
that's
points.
fine. That's fine.
All right. So we'll start over. Dora Brand of Mitcham, Surrey saw her home reduced to a pyre 6 weeks after she bought the painting. And although it was among many others she owned, it was the only one that survived the fire.
It's crazy. Sandra Kraski of Kilburn, I don't know if that's how you pronounce the last name, of Kilburn said that she and her sister, her mother, and a friend had all suffered fires since buying copies of the picture. That doesn't give me a year. It was a short one.
Yeah. On October 21st, 1985, the Perillo Pizza Palace, Great Yarmouth, Norfolk, was gutted by fire, although its prominently displayed The Crying Boy picture remained in pristine condition.
On October 24th, 1985, the Godper family of Herringthorpe, South Yorkshire, lost their home to an unexplained fire. The Crying Boy picture displayed in their living room stayed unmarked, while pictures on either side of it had been completely consumed by the flames.
So before I continue, and read the next one of the big things that people had a theory of is maybe the varnish that they used to seal in the painting.
But it's a printing.
I know. So like it's like a freaking poster. It's not the original painting. So like I don't know. On October 25th, 1985 in Heswell, Merseyside, a pair of the paintings hanging in the living room and dining room of the house belonged to the Amos family were found intact after a gas explosion destroyed the building.
Jesus. In November 1985, one woman from Leeds who destroyed her picture of the crying boy seems certain that its destruction was to blame for the deaths in a fire of her husband and 3 sons. Holy crap.
November 12th, 1985, Malcolm Vaughan of Churchdown, oh my God, Gloucestershire, helped to destroy a neighbor's picture, and he returned home to find his own living room ablaze for reasons which firemen were unable to explain.
December 1985, 67-year-old William Armitage. Oh, right. William Armitage died in a mysterious fire that swept through his house in Weston-super-Mare, Avon. Avon? I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. It was discovered that the crying boy picture was found intact, lying beside the pensioner's charred body. One of the firemen who dealt with the blaze was afterwards quoted in saying, "I've never believed in the jinx up until now, but when you actually come across a picture in a gutted room and it's literally the only thing that hasn't been touched, it is most odd."
So
That's the one I know the most, is the William Armitage story.
this went on, like all of these little stories and experiences and like fires happened between September of 1985 to December of 1985, like a 3 month span
Yeah, it's crazy.
or a 4 month span. And like, is someone going around setting fires? They're all unexplained too. And someone's house blew up, exploded.
Either they have a massive arsonist on their hands, or they are just like the most unlucky people.
And they're all in different places
Yeah,
well.
They're all in different places.
All these places that we are horrible at pronouncing.
I'm really sorry. I want to apologize for our pronunciations of places because we are not educated in that pronunciation.
Oh, the way we pronounce so many things on this show, on this podcast,
Ooh,
it's
baby.
really poor. But yeah, this painting has so much history, and like with that only being in a couple months span, and people are just like, nope, it's cursed. We'll leave it at that. I don't know, like, if anyone has the original painting.
I don't think
Because
it's
this is
ever
just
been
a
found.
print. And there's so many different variations of a crying boy because that painter always painted children.
Painted all these crying children series. It was a series. That I showed is just the most famous one that I know
and
of.
There is like a few other ones that I just didn't know which one to pick. But like, why that subject? Artists are weird.
I don't think anybody knows, man.
Who displays a sad child in their house?
Don't ask me.
I mean, coming from a person who displays someone's skull and this and that, nuns riding a merry-go-round.
That's different. That's oddities. I mean, I guess it could be considered an oddity.
I mean, with the story behind the crying boy now.
Not to go back to him again. But
oh my gosh, this episode's all about Zach Baggins. I knew it.
Oh, dude, we should sell this to Discovery. I think he's got a print of it.
Really?
Yeah, because a few years ago he did a mini series through the Travel Channel. It's now in Discovery
about
Plus. About his haunted museum.
museum.
And he would have people come in, like Robert the Doll was an episode that they came in, like he got to see the doll in person, hold it, and like take a picture. Like that's where the Dybbuk box thing came from, is that mini series. I think he's got a print of this.
Zach Baggins owns the Crying Boy painting, and it's likely on display at his museum. How we got it, a woman donated the painting to the museum after it set her house on fire.
I don't think it's the original. It's the print.
Yeah, it has to be a print. Yeah, you know what? Let's
He's got a
cut-
lot of shit. I want to see the basement of that Gary, Indiana house. He's got that displayed. Granted, he's got a big ass mannequin of like a demon in there.
Doesn't he only have the stairs?
He kept the stairs and some of the dirt that was underneath it.
Yeah,
It was to the basement. You know what else he bought? Taylor, you want to know what else he bought? Because Annabelle's part of this episode, I can relate it. The movie Annabelle had a very different like demon look in their movies. I think it was the second one that it had a very different look. He bought the mannequin that they used to like put like to make it look like that demon. Like he has it.
Fun.
It's from the Annabelle movies. So it ties in. And it ties into me talking about him. It's all about him.
We're going to make an episode. We are going to absolutely record an episode. We'll record one about his museum and try not to bash him because honestly, he did.
No, I think that would be a pretty tame one from us. I think we can do it.
He did inspire a lot of people to be involved in the paranormal.
I would say the whole team did. I wouldn't say it was just him.
Oh yeah, the whole
like
team.
Nick.
Like we could talk about like the beginning of their adventure.
Their initial documentary that they made.
Yeah, not this new stuff where it's kind of I noticed. Okay, no, never mind. We're not talking about Zach Baggins. This is not about Zach Baggins. So these are the objects that I picked out. I kept out the Dybbuk box because that's not real, in my opinion.
Nope, we're not talking about that.
There was some other stuff that came up, but I could not find any history about it. Like a lot of it was like vases from like Egyptian stuff or like stuff from like the 1500s, and it's
if you go in, if you deep dive into haunted objects or cursed objects, you will get a shit ton of Egyptian stuff because they would curse the object if it was ever removed from the burial place.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Or there's like stuff where like if it belonged to someone who was viewed as like a king or whatever, and it was taken from that family of royalty, that it's cursed, and it's just a lot of stuff like that.
Do you know the reason? Okay, I do want to talk about this one thing before we go any further. The reason I don't really want to talk about the Dybbuk box is because the story is so inconsistent. The guy his name is like Kyle something or whatever. He came out and said the story was fake. Do you know why he came out and said the story was fake?
Was it because Zach was making a lot of money off of it?
Allegedly. I need to put that out there. Allegedly. I don't want to get sued. Allegedly,
oh my God.
he wanted to sell the rights to make a movie, and he couldn't get the money he wanted because it wasn't his story.
So he's like, fuck that. This is fake.
Allegedly. I think that's what it was, is he couldn't get movie rights for it.
I think I read that. It was something like that.
I want to cover my ass. Allegedly.
Just a screen full of that.
Allegedly. Like if you're watching the video version, just a picture allegedly all over the screen. I don't want to get sued.
They could sue you all.
We say we're not that big, but somehow someone's gonna get to that dude, and we're gonna get our asses sued. I can just feel it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I can't afford it.
All right. Well, that's all I had for this.
Well,
With-
no,
from
hold on.
haunted
Before we
objects?
go on, Taylor, come on now. I want to talk about our haunted objects. Do we have time to talk about our haunted objects?
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Like ours are supposedly have an attachment to it. And we're talking about it. Let's talk about it.
All right. Well, I have Barbara, my haunted doll. I have Lars and Floris, my haunted little knickknacks.
If you go on
Um,
Instagram, you can actually see pictures of them. I asked you for a while back when we got,
Oh,
I
yeah.
wanted Instagram content. It's on our Instagram at Ghost and Us. You can see them there. They have a little story bio there.
I have another doll that she doesn't have a name, but I called her Elizabeth. She just looks like an Elizabeth to me. She has some funky hair. And then I also
I like
have
that
a
you say it
haunted-
right in front of her too.
That's fine. I also have a haunted prosthetic leg that
Yes,
came
you do.
from the Korean War era. And I don't know. Supposedly, the story behind it is if you hold it for like a certain period of time, like say like 5 minutes or something, you'll start to get this feeling on the back of your neck where someone is just gripping you like they would to a cat,
Ugh,
and then
That's
you would
weird.
get like a migraine.
that's weird.
So when I bought it, it came with a bag of salt.
Oh, that's nice.
It hopes to protect. I was told not to hold it very long.
Oh, that's right. I remember because you handed it to me and said, "Here, look at this," and I went, "Whoa!"
Yeah, it is the coolest freaking thing though. I love it. And you know what? I actually think that my human skull that I have might have something attached to it because I've been getting like I have cat balls on my shelf, obviously. And this, like the cat balls that sit next to this go off often.
Interesting.
But yes, it is real. I call
Yeah,
it my
that is a
grandma's
real skull. You also own a real skull of a cow
Yeah, that's
when we went to Jerseyville.
way up high. I'm not grabbing that.
Oh no, I wouldn't either. It's too heavy.
Anyways, would you like to talk about your haunted objects? Mine
Yeah.
just run around the
Sure.
house and make humming noises. I don't know.
Here, let me grab one quick. Give me 1 sec. I can grab one.
Just come in with the chair.
No, I can't. I won't be doing that. People have seen the chair.
People have seen the fire helmet.
It's gonna take for 1 sec. So this is my, yeah. So Taylor is actually, I've sat in the chair, like when you watch like some of our older podcasts, or if you've watched some of them, I use the chair as
No,
a
not even-
sitting spot.
Not even the old ones. Because, like, when we did the slumber party videos, I sat in it.
Yeah, well, older videos compared to this new video
All right.
podcast that's out. But yeah, like I use the chair. Mike has sat in the chair. We've had people sit in it. Taylor sat in it and she doesn't like sitting in it. This,
I'm
however,
used to
is
it now.
you're used to it now. This, however,
I had to
is
warm
the
up.
fire helmet that I received after I did a private investigation with some of the Fox Valley ghost hunters, or now Fox Valley Paranormal, I should say. And when the owner of the house brought us in, he said that he got a weird vibe off of it. And when he picked it up, goosebumps shot up both of his arms, like instantly. And I was like, holy crap, that's weird. Like, that's crazy. Like, so we'll investigate that for you. And we had investigated his house because he had some really out there claims, not like anything like negative or anything like that, but he was concerned because he had a grandchild staying there sometimes, and he didn't want like them to get hurt, and I understand that. So we took
I feel like I
extra
should. I was gonna say, I feel like I should like start worrying and thinking about like all the things I have with Evelyn.
only if it starts getting to affect her. Once kids are
Yeah.
involved, then you're like, oh no. But we did an investigation of the house, and we weren't really coming up with much. It wasn't until we said, hey, you had a bad vibe coming from or you had a weird vibe, I should say, not a bad vibe, a weird vibe coming from this helmet. Can we try something with it? So we did an Estes session with it, and the questions were, I've talked about this before on the podcast. The questions in succession were, what's in front of Blaine? What is the object? And what do you want us to do with it? My answers through the spirit box that I got were, what's in front of Blaine? Object. Well, what's the object? A helmet. Like, it told me helmet through the spirit box. And then, what do you want what do you want us to do with the helmet? And I said, take it away.
So now it is yours.
We told the owner this, and he said, take it. And I went, fuck. And now it's here. And now I own it. It was weird because he told us that he tried looking it up because he buys and sells storage units. He buys storage units and then he'll like sell the stuff that's in it. He looked up the information from this fire helmet and he couldn't find anything.
But it's a real helmet. Like,
I think so.
it's pretty sturdy. It looks like a real helmet.
It's heavy like it would be a real helmet.
Yeah.
But yeah, he looked up the top here, like the number and stuff, like the test corners and fire department stuff. He couldn't find anything on this. So if anybody out there knows, leave a comment down below or send me an email at ghostinus@gmail.com or message us on Facebook. I don't care. It's just send me a message. If you know anything about this, I'd love to know, because I have this and I know absolutely nothing about it besides what I experienced with it. And now it's here. So, yeah, that's my haunted objects. Or allegedly haunted objects.
I would love to get many, many more.
I'd love to as well. However, I want a space for them. I don't want them to be in my house. They can have their own free roam somewhere else.
You just want to shove them somewhere where it's not yours.
Somewhere where I don't live. I want that they can have their own space. They can do whatever they want then. Oh, Evelyn's making a cameo. That's nice.
Oh, God. Yeah, sweet the stinky baby. There she is. She has poop.
Oh, well, we can wrap it up then.
I can smell her real good.
All right, we'll wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for watching this podcast on your podcast catcher of choice. Thank you guys for tuning in for a awesome season 2. In my opinion, we definitely had more episodes in this season than the last one, and we hope to have many, many more. Season 3 premieres, we'll have our first guest, Larry Eisler, and he is one of the coolest people I've ever had the pleasure to sit down and talk to. I hope you guys will join us for that one as well. We got a couple other guests in the lineup, and Taylor and I want to talk about a lot more stuff. So I hope you guys stick around. We have a lot more crap we want to talk about. But yeah, you can follow us everywhere at Ghosts in Us. You can subscribe to us here on YouTube. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. Taylor, is there anything that I missed?
Facebook groups.
You can join us on Facebook. All the links will be in the description below on our link tree.
Not too sure about TikTok right now.
Well, TikTok's up in the air because, gosh, that sucks. Anyway, I forgot to mention this at the top of the episode. We suspended our Patreon account. I feel we jumped the gun. I don't think we were putting out the content out there that I think people would enjoy. So we are suspending that for the time being. And we've already talked to everybody who was a paid member. And yeah, we're just going to kind of go off of that. So.
And has a lot to say. Can you hear her?
No. Now I can.
Oh, yeah, Evelyn. That's a lot.
That's a lot. Evelyn's telling you to like, comment, and subscribe and follow us on social media. So please do that, and we will see you in season 3, baby.